Welcome, Rich Hoops Pod fans. We got Chris Paul being Golden State Warriors. We find out the real details as a 2031st round pick. That is protected. It is a 2027 second round pick. It is Jordan Poole, and it is Ryan Rollins. That is the cost of Chris Paul. If I'm a Warriors fan, I'm very skeptical of this man. This is the first move of Mike Dunleavy Jr. Is this tenure as the guy over there after this is not a Bob Myers move? I'll say that right up front. This is not a Bob Myers move. You traded a young 24-ish year old player for, and guy that might be, well, he's on the last leg we watched Chris Paul last season. Y'all know Chris Paul is my favorite player of all time. I like this from the Chris Paul perspective. He gets another opportunity to potentially win a championship, that elusive NBA championship. He's playing for a team. There's got a lot of those in recent history. But you trade this young player, and I think this might showcase that there's a disconnect between the value us NBA fans might see with Jordan Poole versus what the front office of people, because 4 years, $140 million, even in the moment you go watch those videos we're talking about, these extensions between him, Tyler Hero. I think Anthony Simmons signed 4-year, $100 million, which is less than that. Obviously, we were like, man, this is a lot of money. There's a lot of money. And here we go, a year and two, and I don't even think the contract starts this year. So the 440 is going to Washington right now. And you might have thought that the cost or the value of Jordan Poole will be a lot higher than Chris Paul. But obviously, there's what Chris Paul was about to get waived 2 weeks ago. And oh man, this is a lot of rambling out of that. If there's one positive of this from the Warriors' perspective, or my perspective as a non-Warrior fan, is that we're about to see the one thing that made me become a real Steph Curry fan, was the movement off the ball. And now that they have an additional playmaker with Chris Paul, we're about to see a lot of off-ball Steph Curry, and that's going to be dangerous for the league. But on the other side of things, you have 6-foot Chris Paul, 6'3" Steph Curry. When those dudes on the court together, it might be a struggle at that perimeter defense thing. You know I'm saying, the first move of Mike Dunleavy Jr.'s tenure, man. And I just don't know how to feel. Wizards fans get their first-round pick after not getting one from Bradley, be able to Kristaps Porzingis. It was for Chris Paul. This is how weird the NBA is. There's all seasons already going crazy with this trade going down, and now you get Jordan Poole. I feel really good about this because it's over the next 4 years of Jordan Poole's career. There's no real world. We're about to be right back and take attention. So even if it turns out to be a back contract or Jordan Poole doesn't hit the next step that maybe you believe he could potentially do, you still got to hit a salary floor. You still got to pay people, and why not take a chance on the dude that we saw a couple years ago be really, really good? I mean, Jordan Poole is a quality NBA player with potential attached to him, and you didn't give up anything that you cared about. You were trading or waiving Chris Paul. Regardless, Wizards fans. So you take this as dry now. I hope that this doesn't change their philosophy would have come to the draft in a couple hours, because I don't want them to pass up on another guard. If they believe that guard is the real deal in a couple seasons, but now we got Jordan Poole and Tyus Jones. We don't need another guard. So let's reach for a small forward, power forward, a senior center, draft the best play available in your eyes, and let the rest fall into play, because this Snow says thing is an untradeable contract, even if Jordan Poole doesn't turn out to be the player that you want him to be. Don't know how this looks. This Chris Paul become now this Super 6 man-point guy. In the mode of what Jordan Poole was doing coming off the bench, because I don't see it being great to start off with all of those dudes together on the court. But if we keep the Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Wiggins, Draymond Loondog lineup to start off with, that's dope. And now we can see this third stretch of Chris Paul's career, because he's gone through a lot. He's went through the years where he was one of the best and best about due. Not forget that he was 4th in MP. And like it's 3rd year of his career. Don't you forget? I know you only remember the last couple years of Chris Paul when he ain't been all that. He was like that, and then once he ended up getting traded to, okay. See, I thought that was like the second portion of his career, where he's more of a vet, can also still perform. Obviously, he made an all-star appearance then, and then now he might be transitioning into a dude that comes off your bench to give you high-quality minutes off the bench. But this is a high price to pay for potentially just so 1 year rental. We cannot ignore the fact that Draymond Green punched the hell out of Jordan Poole about a year or so ago. So that probably plays a part as like, yeah, we just want to wash our hands of that relationship, and I wouldn't be surprised if Jordan Poole was in the air. When we were in the NBA Finals and Draymond Green was doing his podcast on the Beer app, he has Steve Kerr one of the episodes, and Steve Kerr was saying he was praising the Denver Nuggets about all of their players buying in and not complaining about the situation. Mostly talk about how like Christian Brown and Bruce Brown spot minutes in particular series. But we got to the finals, though. Dudes played great minutes and basically throwing shots at the young players on his team. C, like they could play none a lot. And C, like they could play none a lot this. This just doesn't feel like a move that Bob Myers would have done last year again. We can't just keep comparing it to Bob Myers. But it hasn't been that long since he left. You know what I'm saying. So I'm very interested to see what else happens with the Warriors because there's rumors about Kuminga as well. I would be very pressed if I was a Warriors fan and we decided to trade the entire future. For those, one last dance and listen, Steve Curry deserves it. Like I've made videos on this channel that you need to buy into Steph Curry while you can because he's still a top 3 to 5 player in the NBA, like he's still that good. And they've tried to do this balancing act of we're going to develop this young talent and those dudes into Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond start to decline. And even though they want a championship, while doing that, those younger players that you wanted to build up didn't play Kuminga, didn't play Moses Moody, played a little bit in that title run. Jordan Poole played in that title run, but for the most part, those younger dudes didn't really get that moment, didn't really get it. I would be very, very surprised if they decided to clean the house of all of the young talent in order to compete for a couple more seasons, because I do believe that you want to eventually push some of those dudes in, and maybe Mike Dunlap, if you're saying, hey, the guys that's all drafted here, I don't think that Kuminga, Jordan Poole, Moses Moody, all the others, Ryan Rollins, are the guys that can be the next chapter. So you know what, we gonna shit them out right now where they got value. Like I saw a report that the Indiana Pacers are involved with Kuminga or interested in Kuminga. Is it true? We'll see in a couple hours. But this trade on surface level though, I'm giving the Wizards like a straight up AI no again. It's a lot of money to Jordan Poole, but like what else are you're paying? You're not going to pay Kuzma, right? You're not right. Hey, they might try to bring Kuzma back now, but you just have money that you need to spend, so why not take a chance on this dude? And again, in a couple years down the line, if it don't work out, you can flip them again. And you got a first round pick for a dude that you didn't really care about to keep on the team. Chris Paul would say, like, hey, I'm standing on the West Coast regardless, Washington, East Coast. But for the Warriors, this trade is one of the ones that I need to see it on court first before I really feel about my initial gut reaction to this trade from the Warriors' perspective is I don't really like it. But then again, Steph Curry and Klay moving because there's another guy that could get him into the spots. I'm excited about that part, but again, with the idea of winning another championship, Chris Paul is not in a position of need. But Chris Hayes, hold on alive. The goal to say words when I wave Chris Paul and is looking forward to partner with the star to make a championship run. Was that even a question when this trade broke? I didn't think, they're going to wave him and do. All right. Let me know what you think, Warriors fans. Please let me know. Yeah, y'all don't do big trades like this. This is not all DNA. This is not what I'll normally do. So I'm curious to see what you think.